Hello friends and welcome to Techi. In our previous video we have configured our Edge server, and after that I just forwarded SMTP port to my Edge server and I tested the email and they were working fine. So now it's the time to testing our connectivity through Microsoft Analyzer tool, and after that we will try to install certificate for our Exchange Server 2016. So let's proceed. So guys, before moving further, I want to show you something. This is my Cisco RV042 router and I have a public IP installed on this. The reason to show you this is, like, if you are taking a class in an institute or you are studying in an institute, they do not have a public domain or they do not use a live IP to give you a training. So in this scenario you may miss all these settings, and you will be working on just a virtual environment like in a local lab, and you will not get the real way, like you will not get the real experience, like how it's working and how you can publish it on a real internet. So here I after installing, like earlier my SMTP was pointing to this 11, like 2.11, this is my mailbox, and but now after installing my SMTP server, like that is my after installing my Edge server, I just forwarded this port, like SMTP port, to my Edge server. Like the IP for my Edge server is 192.168.2.16. My DNS is on 192.168.2.7. this is an internal DNS, like this is my DC, and my HTTPS is going to 2.11, that is my mailbox server. Like we have a IIS installed and we have a virtual directories. So IIS, like our https.mail.techijack.in, the page is coming from this server, so that's why the 443, the HTTPS port, has been forwarded to this, and the IMAP also has been forwarded to my mailbox server. I suggest you, like, you do not just put your public IP into your Exchange server. This is not a way, because exposing it to internet, that means you are just inviting the people to just mess with up your server. So it's better to put your IP in a router and then forward the particular port to the specific computer which are holding your services. Like my SMTP service is held by my Edge server and the IP for that is 2.16, and my websites are hosted on my mailbox like 2.11, so I have just redirected my HTTPS to that. So everyone is coming to my public IP that is installed on a router, and my router is just forwarding it to my PCs, like local computers. And for more security you can just put a firewall, then your router, then firewall, whatever you want you can do. But in my scenario it's just a, you can say it's a basic scenario. So I have a router, forwarded the ports. So now let's have a look on our I have a Microsoft Analyzer, like Microsoft Remote Connectivity Analyzer, and let's have a look like how many connectivity we have with our services, like how many services are going through and working fine. So what we will be doing, we will be checking with the Exchange Activesync Autodiscover. We will be checking with synchronization, notification, availability and automatic replies, Outlook Autodiscover, the very important thing, inbound email, IMAP and outbound as well. So let's go with the Exchange Autodiscover. We are not going to do this because we will do this, but right now it will give us an error because we do not have a certificates installed on our server, like we do not have a public certificates. So let's have a look on this one, like Exchange Activesync Autodiscovery, and let me just put the email address. The email address for the testing purpose will be used like jack@techijack.in. Ignore the trust for SSL and just click on perform test, and let's see if our test goes through or not. Okay, we have a connectivity test successful, like that means our mobile devices can connect to our Exchange server. That means our Activesync is working fine. If you see, the testing for Autodiscover URL was tested successfully. You should have your DNS entries in the perfect way for getting these thing in a green. Otherwise it can take a lot of time to make them green, or if your DNS settings are not in a proper way, you may face many challenges. So everything seems to be fine for our Autodiscover is working fine for our Activesync. So let's go to the start over and just try for our synchronization, notification availability, and automatic replies. The email address, and I'll use the option like use Autodiscover to detect server setting automatically. Again, I'm going to ignore the trust for SSL and let's perform the test. And it is necessary to check your remote connectivity analyzer, because if you do not check, something may work for you, but maybe it's not configured properly, but it's working in just in a local environment, or it's not working from the outside. So you should check the remote connectivity analyzer so that to make sure that everything is working fine. So our Exchange web synchronization, notification, and automatic replies are also working fine. Like we are getting all the green check boxes, all the green marks are there, like that means it's working fine. So again, start over and go for the Outlook Autodiscover. I'll put the email address again and ignore SSL. Okay, our connectivity test is successful. Our Outlook Autodiscover is also able to resolve our Autodiscover URL. So everything seems to be fine here. And let's go to the inbound SMTP test. And right now we do not have any email here, and this is a mailbox for jack@techijack.in. So what we will be doing, we will checking the inbound SMTP test, and the Microsoft Analyzer will be sending us an email for testing this thing. .in, perform the test. Let's see. Okay, we got the mail quickly, and let's see the result. We have a testing inbound SMTP mail flow that is green. Okay, and let's go start and for do the IMAP. Pop email is not enabled on my server. What I did is I just enabled the service. I just started the service for IMAP. By default, Exchange 2016 do not have these services started, so I just started the IMAP service, and let's see if we are able to get this or not. I'm checking it for SSL. Oh, just wait a minute, because it says the IMAP server host name, it's not saying the email address. So we will type the mail.techijack.in. This is our server host, and let's perform the test. Okay, we got this cleared. Our IMAP is also working fine. So after these tests, if you get all the green things, like if you get the outbound SMTP email as a green, that means everything is set and working fine. Only the thing is that you have to set the certificates. And if we check for Exchange Activesync, we check for the Outlook connectivity, we will get the error. Because why? Right now we don't have a certificate installed. So let me have a look and let's see. And let's take a look like if we get this thing through or not. Make any problem like it's I do not have any problem with if my email does not go to the Gmail, or because it's for just training purpose. See, we have a problem with this Outlook. Though you see, if you have a DNS problem, the DNS name is resolved, but the SSL, every step on a SSL we have a problem. SSL certificate, the error, while resolving the auto discover we have a check mark, while checking the port we have a green mark, but in a SSL we have a failed mark. Again, the SSL trust, it says the testing TCP port 80 is not listening, because right now if I show you, the port 80 is not forwarded to anyone, so that's why it's saying like it's testing for the port 80, but the port 80 is not forwarded to any of the servers, so it's giving me this error. Otherwise everything is fine. We have a SRV record, again problem with SSL. So let's go ahead and install the SSL. So friends, right now I am on my Exchange server, like EX01. I have a 2 mailbox server. This is the first one, EX01. The IP address is 2.11. So let's open Exchange, HTTPS, mail.techiecheck.acp. And right now you can see we have a certificate warning here, and if I go to the advanced and I see the view certificate, so right now you can see the mail.techiecheck.com is assigned by common CN, like the issued by, you can see the techiecheck.dc01 slash like hyphen CA. So this certificate is fine for your internal organization. If you want to run Exchange in your internal organization only, you can use this certificate, because your internal organization knows like from where this certificate is coming, and they can trust this. But for if you are dealing with the public computers and all, you want to run Exchange in a like global way, that means this certificate will not be trusted. So right now I'm just accepting it, and let's log in with the administrator. And first of all we have to just create our CSR request, and after that we will just try to check with some free of SSL, like the Comodo is the best known for the SSL, so we will try to create a trial, like 90 days trial certificate from Comodo. And let's go to the server, and here we have right now the certificates. Right now you can see we have a mail.techiecheck.in certificate and signed by our local DC, like it's signed by our internal domain controller. So we do not want this. We want a new certificate from our like which is trustable from in a global way. So let's generate a request for certificate. I'm just create a request for a certificate from a certification authority, or create a self-sign certificate. If you want to create a self-sign, you can select the self-sign option, but I don't want to create. We are going to create our global certificate, like which can be identified and trusted by all the public computers. So let's click on next, and the friendly name can be like my certificate. Okay, and click on next, and here it says like request a wildcard certificate. So you can use that, but it is not recommended by Microsoft. Like, to avoid this, use a SAN certificate, not a wildcard. So we are not just checking this new certificate. So store certificate request on this server. So I will just select the server, the EX01, and move further. And here we want certificates for webmail.techicheck.in. Okay, click on next, and here it's an important thing. Like you can see here, we have a local domain, we have a auto discover. So what you can do, if you want to just remove this thing, you can just remove it from here. You want to remove it, you can remove it from here. If you want to add something, you want to add, like if you can see the host name we have, like auto discover and autodiscover.techicheck.in. So the SAN certificate should include both the names, like because we don't need it for our local, so I can just remove it. I can remove this one as well. I don't need it for this one as well, so I'll remove this. And if you have any other name, like you have another mail for another location, you have a server like for the same organization, you want to access that from by the name of webmail.techicheck.in. In my case this is, and if, in your case, like your webmail.yourdomain.inor.com. So you can just add here and you can type the name like webmail.techicheck.in, and all these URLs will be assigned a certificate by generating this CSR. So it's necessary to include, like in our case it's mail.techicheck.com. If in your case you have set it as a webmail.techicheck.in or webmail.yourdomain, so mail and auto discover is necessary. So I don't have a webmail right now, so I will just remove it. So main domain is like mail, and auto discover is in the list. So let's go and click on next. Now the organization name is Techicheck, department training, city, let's see, Delhi, state Delhi, country is India. Click on next. Save the request on the following file. So what I'll do is I'll save this inside EX. Okay, let's do this one. This is the EX01, and C inside the C drive. I will just type the public cert request.req and click on finish. And now it's showing us the pending request. You can see here it's showing us a pending request. And let's see, if I go to my C drive, and let's see, here we have this request, and if you try to open it with notepad, okay, notepad, this is a notepad like CSR request. This is how it looks, and what we have to do with this, we have to create our Comodo account and we have to use this file. So let me close this out and let's try to create. Let's go to the Comodo free SSL 90 days. Okay. It's asking me to create the account. Let me create the account, and once I will just be inside it, I'll resume the video. Now you can see here it says order confirmation, and I may have received email from this. It says thank you for getting an SSLcomodo.com. Please visit the link, sign into your account to verify email address, complete your registration. Okay, I have created the account, and now let me try to log in with the email and password. It's a free trial account for 90 days or maybe for 30 days. Save. And here it's a dashboard for this. Let me maximize it. Here you can see inside the trial account I have one service, and I click on that service. Just close this, and you can see here the Comodo SSL free trial certificate, activation ID, pricing 0, date of registration, and it's active. So you can just click on this certificate, and under the manage, like they have changed their way, but no problem, we can just set up SSL Comodo certificate and you will get this screen. And here we have the server information, like it's asking for this. You must have a valid CSR certificate signing request to configure your SSL. So we have to put our CSR here. So we have already generated our CSR. So let me again copy this, and we will just put our CSR request here and click to continue. Domain control validation for the drop down. Okay, it's saying me like if you own the domain, you should have your domain email address. So what I can do, I can just click on this one, administrator at techicheck.in. So we have this email address with us, and click on continue. Your SSL Comodo certificate order is now completed. Your SSLcomodo.com order is this. You will shortly receive an email to this address. Please click the link in this email to validate your ownership for the domain. Like we have to log into our email to verify the this domain. They are asking for the verification, so no problem. Let me just quickly go ahead, and it's mail.techicheck.in/OWA, and they send it to an administrator. So I hope we have this here. Okay. To permit the issuance of the certificate, please browse here and enter the following validation code. So let me copy the code. We have to just copy the code, and let's browse here and just paste your validation code here and click on next. You have entered the correct domain control validation code. Your certificate will be issued and emailed to you shortly. Please close this window now. So now they are going to email us a certificate, and once we receive the certificate, after that what we can do, we can just go to our exchange and we can just complete the request after just putting the certificate in a place. And I will just wait for the certificate, and once I receive the certificate, I will just resume the video again. So friends, I received the certificate from Comodo, and if you see here, it says like due to some reason its attachment was delete, like the attachment was removed. This attachment was removed. It was done automatically by Exchange. So what I did, I went to the website for the Comodo and I just tried to download it from their website. Here inside the client area, I just go to the download certificate, and now the certificate has been downloaded, and you can see inside this we have the certificate, and we are concerned about this mail.techicheck.in because they are going to they will give you only one name, like they will not give you the Autodiscover or any other name. In a trial version, only one single name is allowed. So right now we don't have, right? As you can see, we don't have any certificate for our exchange, and let's install it on our exchange and let's see if everything goes fine or not. So I'm just copying this and we'll put inside the download. I'll put to in the C drive and click on paste. Let me copy the name, C, and just open the exchange. And now here we can just click the complete the request. And file to import is /ex01/c $/ and the file name .crt, and click on OK. Let's see if it goes through or not. It's just taking some time, and it went through, and now it says valid and expires on 11/9/2019. Like it will be expiring on in a 1 month, I believe. So no problem. Now our exchange has a certificate installed, and what we can do now, we have to just assign it to the services. You can just select the new certificate and click on this pencil sign to edit it, and you can just go to the service. You can see we have only a one subject alternative name, that is mail and www.mail.techicheck.com. So we are concerned about this. And services, I want to assign it with the IIS, because for the web browser I want a green mark for my SSL. IMAP, POP I don't want to use. I'm not using message call routing, neither I'm using this. Okay, I'll just assign for the SMTP as well, and click on save. Override the existing default SMTP certificate. I say yes. So my previous certificate will be overwritten, and now I have the new public signed certificate from C Authority and assigned to the service IMAP, IIS and SMTP. If you want to remove SMTP, or you want to remove any other service from this, you can remove it, and it will be get removed and will work accordingly. So let's now test our exchange URL. Like right now it's not in a green way. https mail.techicheck.in/OWA https OWA. It's still not showing. Let's see. Still it's taking the previous one. So what I can do, I just do one thing. Let's open in a new incognito window. Okay, now here you can see, here we have a lock mark and says certificate is valid and issued to mail.techicheck.in, issued by RSA domain validation secure server CA. Now it is not from the DC01, is not here, and it's now perfectly installed. So guys, basically it is because only for a one URL like that, mail.techicheck.in. it is not for the autodiscover.techicheck.in. but if you are purchasing it by creating the same way, you will get the you will get the certificate for two URL, like mail.techicheck.in and the autodiscover.techicheck.in will be included in your certificate. So in my case it's only a one. If you want to test it with one more way, we can just go it with https Let me try with mail.techicheck.in. It's going fine now. You can see view certificate. Now it is valid certificate from RSA domain validation, valid from this to this, and public key dsmail.techicheck.com. So now the certificate is fine and we are not getting any red color error. So our task for installing certificate is completed. I hope you found the video informative. If you like the video, please do subscribe the channel for more upcoming training videos. If you have any doubt or any confusion regarding this video, you can comment me or you can email me, and I hope I'll respond you over the time. And let's meet in the next video.